Today we will recap the movie Bad Sister, 2015. The story starts by introducing a young man named Jason Brady, who enjoys playing the guitar in his room. He also makes videos for his YouTube channel when he's not in school. However, when his school break is over, Jason and his sister Zoe are sent to a Catholic boarding school. The head of the school is a woman named Rebecca. Rebecca introduces a new nun named Sophia, who has just arrived at the school. Rebecca gives Sophia a tour of the whole school. Along the way, Sophia meets Jason and finds out she'll be his teacher. One night, Sophia is in bed watching one of Jason's music videos on her laptop. She even kisses the screen. The next morning, Sophia enters the classroom and says hello to the students. She notices that Jason and another student named Sarah are talking to each other and not paying attention to her. This makes Sophia feel a bit envious, so she decides to change Sarah's seat. After class, when Jason is kissing Sarah, Sophia sees them and feels jealous. Her anger makes her go to them and tell Sarah to stay away from Jason. Later on, Sophia asks Jason to come to her room to have a conversation after their class. She intentionally leaves the door slightly open, and when Jason arrives, he's surprised to see a beautiful view through the gap. Sophia pretends to not notice Jason and puts on her earphones. Jason, feeling nervous, decides to leave quickly. Sophia's plan seems to work as intended. The following day is the weekend, and all the students' families come to pick them up from school. Sophia notices Jason talking to Sarah again, which triggers her jealousy once more. She then tells Sister Rebecca, the school's head, that her Aunt France is in the hospital, and she needs to leave. Sister Rebecca allows Sophia to go. Back at home, Jason wants to focus on his music career. While his mom supports this decision, his dad is disappointed and wants him to go to college. Jason feels upset due to his father's lack of faith in his dreams. This disappointment leads Jason to skip dinner and play his guitar by the pool instead. Unbeknownst to him, Sophia is nearby, keeping an eye on him. The next day at school, Sister Sophia sneaks into the girls' dormitory while everyone is asleep. She goes into Sarah's room and secretly places drugs among her books. This action is part of Sophia's plan to frame Sarah and have her expelled from the school. Surprisingly, Sister Rebecca catches Sophia doing something wrong. Sophia tries to explain that she was just checking the dorm's security. Rebecca doesn't ask more questions and leaves quickly. The next morning, when Sophia asks students to open their textbooks, Sarah is surprised to find a cigarette inside hers. This makes Sarah cry when she's taken to the principal's office. She admits the cigarette isn't hers, but sadly, she gets suspended from school for a while. Because of this, the whole school and hostel get checked. They find a bottle of alcohol in Jason's room too. When it's time to punish Jason, Sophia asks the father and the real nun to give him a light punishment. She suggests that he helps clean the school over the weekend. She does this so he can stay at school during the weekend. But now, here's where things get interesting. The twist in the story happens. The person who acts like Sister Sophia is not a real nun. She actually has a crush on Jason. She found out that he studies at St. Adeline Catholic School and that they recently hired Sister Sophia. So, she goes to the real Sister Sophia, takes out a rod, and hits her on the head. Then, she buries her in the jungle. After that, she takes Sister Sophia's place and becomes her, pretending to be the nun. Currently, Jason is at the school helping with cleaning. While cleaning, Sophia assists Jason and makes efforts to attract his attention. Later that night, while Jason is sleeping in his room, Sophia enters. She secretly starts recording with her phone and hides it behind some books, sensing someone is in the room. Jason wakes up and is surprised to see Sophia there. It turns out that Sophia has desires for something with Jason. At first, Jason declines because he's concerned about doing something wrong, but the temptation is strong, and he becomes unsure. The following morning, we see Jason feeling really guilty because he engaged in something he shouldn't have with a nun. Later on, when there's nobody in Jason's room, Sophia enters and begins smelling Jason's clothes. Jason's sister, Zoe, goes to the boys' dorm and discovers Sophia sniffing her brother's clothes. When Zoe confronts her, Sophia threatens to report Zoe to Father Macy for being in the boys' dorm. This leaves Zoe with no choice but to leave the situation. Once school is over, Jason plans to confess his actions. But to his surprise, the person who listens to his confession isn't a priest, it's Sister Sophia. She even enters the confession booth and sits on his lap, and they both do wrong things again. When the weekend comes, as usual, Jason and Zoe go back home. Jason goes to a party where Sarah tries to get close to him and starts kissing him. Although Sarah may have certain intentions, Jason is thinking about Sister Sophia. He stops Sarah from kissing him and decides to leave the party. As he's leaving, a police officer stops him because he's holding a beer bottle. He's almost in trouble, but fortunately, Sophia arrives just in